Peace, Jam from the Vapors. We're getting ready to go into another segment of some work that I produced. This takes you back to some of the legendary high school vapors when I was just getting my feet wet with the airbrush. We're going to go deep into 1988, 89, just starting out with the airbrush. One of the very first pieces I probably did for my brother Easy Kev was a Woody Woodpecker piece, actually, inspired by some of the old LL Cool J lyrics. I got a gold name plate that says "I wish you would," and I always took from the culture around me. So that original concept, I just said, let me find a way to flip it, and I just took Woody Woodpecker, and jazzed him out, gave him my own little flavor. So you see him standing right out on the boardwalk next to his Porsche. He's got the Gucci velour on, Dapper Dan style with the Gucci kicks. That was the big thing. Everybody just was Gucci everything. Gucci this, Gucci that, as they say. Then I gave it a nice little scenery. That was the whole thing. So you get a feel of the character being somewhere, standing in front of his Porsche, straight stunting, as they say these days. Then we got more of a newer school piece. It's not too old, not too new. But this piece was called Blue Flame. The reason I called it Blue Flame, I took the concept of the aerosol can. Since aerosol cans come out in a sort of spray or mist, I just wanted to really personify an image or give it life. So I took an aerosol can and gave it a human almost personification. I made the cap, as you see, like a person's face. He's got his bandana on, so he just kind of looks like a cat cooling. And then you see him, he's got his whole, I gave him, these chrome arms, like he's holding one. But the flame basically represents the burning aerosol. So what he's breathing out is his paint fumes. So I just thought that would be an original piece, and since it being blue flames, blue was the color that I wanted to prefer that time, and just give it a real nice little flair. I was going to actually do some more, and you might see a red flame series coming soon, or a yellow, but it was a unique concept I started with, and I just carried it on through. But as we move on, you'll see I got actually this was originally an old school piece. Reborn. I was actually, before there was Vapors, I was in a group called Too Strong, which consisted of me and a good friend, James Riley, aka Ace One. And Too Strong basically we were Too Strong Airbrush, and I created all my own characters. At this point in time, I was definitely trying to work into defining who I was as an artist and what was going to be my style. And back then, if you didn't have characters or you didn't have a style, you really weren't an artist. So here it is. I incorporated a lot of my main characters, which is Cool B. He's this cool polar bear. He's got that whole kind of mystique about him. Real quiet, but just real cool and laid back. Then we got to the left of him is Lil Locks. He goes by that name, and his name says it all, little happy-go-lucky character, got these little locks flying everywhere, he's into roots and culture, everybody was on the bead tip back then and learning about self. Then below him was that was designed as his brother, which was Sunday Love was the name I created for him. So there's a certain flair on it that we decided to use. He was the jazzy one. He always, kind of that Kane type flavor. If you go to the left, that was, the coolie, the thug almost, one would say, of the group, Born True. So as you see, he has the grill. He's the stunner of the group. He's always shining on the phone. He's got the rings and everything that incorporates being jiggy, I guess one would say. But as we move on, we'll go to another piece, another old school piece done circa 1988, maybe 89. You know, it's almost like a version of the old Kane album. Um, Called it Money Talks, and I just had a simple little concept. Um, my style again was very new, very fresh. Then I was just learning how to work the airbrush, so you didn't see um, too many different gradational tones. I was mainly just getting a good flow of how to work the airbrush and get color to come out. But I did want to show my artistic ability, so I wanted the people to look the way they should be, so you can see a nice um, representation and see the girl, have the gold door knocker earrings, and she's handing them the guy, the cool guy cooling out with the money and the wine. He's got the girls, everything, like he's sitting on a throne almost, just like like Kane's album. But this was unique because it was a front and back t-shirt, a full frontal and full back. So after I finished the back of this shirt, I did the front, and this one was called Ease Off Me Money. So it's almost like a 2 times money design. This one was done under Too Strong at the time. I had just established the name Jam, matter of fact. And I had, as you see, my logo was, that was a jelly jar down there, if you take a look at it. Supposed to be like a jam or a jelly jar. I wanted to get some brand recognition, get people to know the name. And the design speaks for itself. You just got a yard man, holding his own, showing what he's about, and telling, if you want some of his, you got to back off. You know what I mean? But we got another piece we're going to go roll into. It's an old Onyx t-shirt. This was done, I want to say, circa 1995. This was put out right around the time Onyx was real big. When they came out, they came on the scene hard, and everybody was on, this new style that they had. So, needless to say, I was a fan. So it was me paying homage to the group. So I had a good photograph of them, good design. This was one of the first times I was really getting into doing portraits of artists or portraits of people, and I really wanted to make the statement of making it as realistic as it could be. Another new thing I was incorporating was, I call it the box, where I was actually taping off the edges to give it a very tight finished feel. I thought this added a totally new dynamic, because most of my work prior to this time was very free floating. I worked outside of the box, so I did a reversal, and I think in essence it created its own style. And what it also did was it set forth me really starting to make the work that I do look as professional as it could be, as if you was to go into a Neiman Marcus or Oak Tree store and you saw a shirt like this, you would never know that it was all done by hand. So it definitely created and broke the barrier for me to start once again a new style. This piece here is always a thinking man. Always was into culture and history, especially history of a people. And this concept basically was a concept I originally called Yesterday Could Be Tomorrow. And Yesterday Could Be Tomorrow basically was stating that we have to continue to move forward, not forgetting where we come from, forgetting what we've been through as a people. And if we don't make the right changes, if we don't get out there and be an activist about what we want, we could very well be, we might not physically be in shackles, but stay mentally in shackles and bondage. So yesterday could very well be tomorrow. And like I say, it was a very simple concept. I incorporated another different style where I did use a border, or I used edges, but it was a jagged edge to give it some dynamics. Um, I incorporated a lot of freestyle airbrush with a little bit of stencil, but I really wanted the silhouettes to tell the story. So I basically stayed very strong with the expressionism for each artist.